EU's optimistic Brexit negotiator Verhofstadt offers Britain surprise olive branch on ECJ. In a conciliatory intervention, the Liberal MEP told peers Brussels was open to an international agreement on any Brexit deal which should not be unilaterally governed by either side. He said that whilst Eurocrats will insist the ECJ plays a role in policing the rights of EU citizens after Brexit, they have made no demands over the extent of it. Mr. Verhofstadt's remarks on the issue come after his EU Commission counterpart, Michel Barnier, appeared to suggest the EFTA court could play a part in breaking the impasse. The former Belgian Prime Minister made the comments when providing evidence to the House of Lords EU Committee, which grilled him during a session in Brussels last Wednesday. Transcripts of his evidence, published for the first time today, will provide heart to British negotiators that even the most ardent Europhiles are prepared to compromise over the role of the ECJ. During the meeting, Mr. Verhofstadt was asked whether there is any third country in the world in which the ECJ actually has jurisdiction and if it was reasonable to expect Britain to accept such a constraint. He replied, "There is a practical answer to this. If there is an international agreement, there will be oversight on both sides, no. Otherwise it is not an international agreement, it is a unilateral legislation by a country." It was put to the Brexit negotiator that, whilst in normal international trade agreements there is a recognized dispute resolution mechanism, it is usually a joint venture and not one side's court. He answered, "I agree with you. But in any event we have said that the European Court of Justice must play a role in this. Although we have not defined the extent of it, and in an international agreement it is quite possible for it to do so. If there is an international agreement, there will be oversight on both sides, no." Guy Verhofstadt. Peers described Mr. Verhofstadt's remarks as interesting and very helpful, and they will be read keenly in London as the EU Parliament must ultimately give its consent to any Brexit deal. Throughout his hearing, the Liberal MEP, who is a proponent of an EU state, struck a remarkably upbeat tone about the prospect of securing a positive Brexit deal. He told the committee that MEP would be prepared to give their seal of approval to the first phase of the negotiations, by declaring sufficient progress has been made, even if member states disagree. The talks cannot progress to the second phase, covering a future trade agreement, until the EU Council has given its permission, but such a move by the Parliament would be a powerful gesture. Mr. Verhofstadt said, "Britain has asked to start negotiations about the future relationship as quickly as possible, but it knows very well that that is possible only if we make sufficient progress on the withdrawal agreement. If it waits, as it has done now for 3 months, to give us its position papers about the different elements of the withdrawal agreement, it penalizes itself, because we cannot go into phase 2 of the negotiation." He explained, "We have decided to make a resolution in October or November indicating whether or not sufficient progress has been made. Can we say today? No, we cannot. Is there sufficient time? Yes, if there is the will. I know that political will is everything. I have seen difficult agreements made in 24 hours. And I have seen things that could have been solved very easily remain unsolved for months because the political will was not there. Everything depends on political will." Thanks for watching. Please like, share and don't forget to subscribe English News Hub for new excited videos.